Smoky morning going up the Coquihalla highway through hell.
I just saw Jamie Davis tow a truck in here somewhere.
This video is brought to you by Cycle Transportation, now hiring Super B wood chip and Super B flat deck drivers in BC's Lower Mainland, the Okanagan, and the Kootenays. To apply, go to setco.ca, use promo code QUADFAN, let them know I sent ya, and get an extra $100 on your first payday. Good morning.
Good morning. Wait, are we supposed to say good smoky morning again?
Good smoky morning. We are just leaving the Esso card lock in Hope. Mountain in front of us is looking kind of pretty.
I saw there's like a white 4x4 Jimmy Davis tow truck pickup unit.
Okay.
It's in the parking lot somewhere, going somewhere.
This is Jamie Davis, home country.
It is.
They're literally like half a mile from us. It's their home base. All right, Highway 1. Giving us room. Well, now you're going to make crunching noises. It never fails, does it? Just like me, I'm going to start coughing now.
In my defense,
I said it. Your defense?
you had like 10-second gap between your butt in the seat and hitting the gas pedal.
It's go time.
Exactly. And I had time to do it before a video.
That took longer than I wanted it to take, fueling up. That's okay. It's time to hammer down.
Our safety means that we have the same time around though.
Safety meeting is the same time as what?
Unloading.
It's at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, might work out. Hammer down harder and deliver earlier.
I'm just saying, you might not make the safety meeting.
That's not a pretty tarp job. I know it's ugly. Like, it is an ugly tarp job. Like, it's amateur ugly. It was 38 degrees Celsius. I was hot and sweaty. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just rolling out partial of the tarp. It covers the load, put straps on top of it. It's not pretty, but it's doing the job. I figure I'd get that out there before someone says, what an ugly tarp job. She is ugly. To be fair, the only place where it's ballooning up is right at the very front of the nose, where there's only one pallet, where the rest of the load's got 2 pallet wide all the way to the back. The very front is the 1 pallet. Which makes my drives light. It kind of sucks in the winter a load this like this, but in the summer it's fine. opening American Hill. Apparently construction on American Hill. All the way down to one lane, or yeah, all the way down to one lane. So it is August 31st. Exactly 9 a.m. 23 degrees Celsius outside already. Smoky because of all the forest fires on the US side blowing smoke up into Canada. Yesterday we drove empty all the way from Medford, Oregon to Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah, it was about 2 p.m. before we knew what we were doing.
Yeah, just before coming into Portland, I made another phone call and they're like, oh, head up to Tacoma. So, yeah, they were desperately trying to find a load other than this load, so they must have had this one in their back pocket until I called and go, nope, we haven't found our load closer yet, so I guess you'll send them to Tacoma. It's a lot of empty miles. I get paid empty miles. I don't know how much I get paid for empty miles.
I don't remember off the top of my head. 50 something. I know you looked at your memory bank. Your memory bank is like, I don't remember all the way either.
Loaded this, did a really ugly tarp job, and then we just raced down the road. Got as far as we could. Pulled into the first rest area, it was packed full. They closed half the rest area down. I don't know why the half the parking lot's gone. Just north of Seattle. So the first one was full, so we went to the second one and there was lots of space there. So but we only had like 3 minutes of drive time left by the time we got there. It was as close as we could make it. If that one had been full, I would have just been forced to park on the side of the road there, on the ramp or something.
We got full overnight.
It got very full overnight, yeah. And then, of course, this load is headed to Revelstoke.
Which I'm not going to complain about going up there in the Rockies.
Should be a pretty drive through Three Valley Gap and all of that.
Yeah. Talk about your second phone call. Forgot to talk about your second phone call. You called to know where we were going, and then you called again and you were like, so how late do they load?
Oh, right. I called and they said, we're sending you the dispatch right now. It'll be Tacoma. I'm like, okay, awesome. We pulled over to the rest area, looked at the dispatch, loading on the 31st, which is today. I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to have some downtime. So I'm like, okay, we'll stop at the last rest area before Tacoma and we'll just have 6 hours downtime. Kind of sucks, but it would be less than, it'd be like 5 hours. Here's the Coquihalla highway sign. We're going to put 5 hours of extra downtime. Like, well, we're going to pull in there and relax for a bit. And I was just kind of thinking, I'm like, I can get there by like 5 p.m. right to the customer. I'm like, I'm sure they've loaded us late before. It's been a long time since I've gone that way, but I'm sure they've loaded us late before. So I called. I'm like, any chance that we could load today instead of tomorrow? Because I remember them having done that before. And he goes, oh yeah, I told them you'd be there at 5:30. I'm like, well, you should have told me that.
Like
I
we
was
would
going
have
to pull over here and spend the evening here.
Yeah.
If I hadn't had that little, hey, I think these guys have loaded late in the past. I think we could maybe work something out. Oh, they already know I'm going to be there at 5:30. I'm like, oh.
Used to
Well,
us.
thank you for the communication. Kind of dropped the ball on that, didn't you? You're lucky I called, or else we would have sat there.
The thing that they sent the dispatch but didn't tell you the trip was added, so I'm like, what if we drove past it a long time ago?
So, communication, people. Communication. I expected this guy to turn here, but...
On the plus side, we got reloaded last night and dropped a little bit, so.
Yeah, and if all works out, we will deliver this today.
And then who knows? We have a theory, but we're not sure.
You have a theory?
You have a theory.
I have a theory?
you
I've got
did.
nothing.
Oh no, you were a day short, so yeah, we're not sure.
Now that we're going to most likely deliver today, I have no theory what's next.
Yeah.
Most likely be Klesnikov or, well, it will be most likely be Klesnikov or Klesnikov Mass Timber. One of the two locations. Since I'm in Revelstoke, so that's not too far away. We'll have to go to south, take the ferry. So tomorrow might be fun. Well, what kind of load will I get? Am I going to get loaded tomorrow and then just head home for the weekend? Or am I going to get loaded tomorrow and deliver a short run? Or am I getting home for the weekend at all?
Especially since Monday's a holiday, so.
In Canada and US, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got nothing. I don't have any solid idea what they're going to give me next. Of course, it all hinges on will I deliver today or not. So, crunch. Lots of pipeline construction going on along the side of the road here. Lots and lots of construction. Some of the construction is still due to the repairs. Most of this construction is due to pipeline. So the only construction due to the repairing from the flooding is the one we cut through there where there was alternating traffic, or the single lane that when we first pulled onto the Coquihalla. We're still rebuilding the highway there, and then further after the smasher, there's 2 bridges that they have to replace. So there's 2 sections that are still repairing the highways from last year's flooding. Almost a year ago now. Still did a good job of reopening this highway.
Felt bad for Highway 8 because they were repairing it and they got another mudslide on it.
Yeah, highway 8 is, yeah, that's
It's like,
been closed almost a year now.
this looked like it was open. Yesterday it was closed for a bit. So.
Yeah, yesterday it was semi-collision?
No, that was Sunday morning, I think. No,
That was Sunday morning.
yesterday was some kind of accident.
Coquihalla closes a lot due to accidents.
Yeah.
Construction doesn't help.
The semi-collision that happened this week was at like 6 a.m. So the time of day probably played a part with it too.
Speed up to 80, slow down to 60. Speed up to 110, slow down to 60.
I think that causes a lot of accidents too.
The speed changes all over the place, yeah. Have people driving different speeds.
Especially on a long weekend where everybody's like just ignore it and go.
Yeah.
You don't want anything to do with this highway in a long weekend.
No, I will detour. On a weekend, I don't want to be on this highway, let alone a long weekend. Friday evening and a Sunday evening are horrible on this highway.
It's like something's rattling.
I don't know if there's a point in going into this lane, but didn't think anyone was going to pass us, but I figured I'd give people opportunity if they were really eager. What a beautiful morning on the Coquihalla, though.
It's like the same. Like it's smoky but beautiful. Definitely a change of season there. You can just
Yeah.
feel it. And we saw some schools are opening today.
Yeah, schools are first day of school in Washington. A lot of Washington places, school buses were all running, and yeah. So you have to really watch school zones. Always say never ever ever speed in construction zones and in school zones.
I know for like school zones, like in driver's test, at least here, NBC, if you even go one over, they fail you for the whole test. You cannot speed around schools at all.
All the rattles.
Not all of them, but most of them. Going up here, it sounds like jingle bells. Metal on metal, kind of. Wow.
I guess they're desperately trying to get as much pipeline laid before winter comes.
All that out.
Sure.
And the things you absolutely do not use daily are going to the office drawer.
Sure.
We're not.
No, I want stuff I use weekly left in there.
I brought another one of these with me, so I put another one behind here.
That's a lot of dump trucks there. Staged. A lot of staged dump trucks.
Yeah. Let's do that. There's a couple on that side too.
Oh yeah. Dump trucks staking all over the place. Will I get him? I missed him. Excuse me. Hopefully, the further north we go, the less smoke there is, but I don't know.
There's kind of less as you get closer to Merritt, but you don't ever leave it all the way. And then a little bit by Salmon Arm, you get out of it, but then you go back into it by Revelstoke.
Revelstoke has smoke as well. Yeah, it's just a smoky time of year. We don't really have fall here. We just have smoke. Winter, spring, summer, smoke.
I don't know if we really had summer some years either, though.
We had summer this year.
Yeah.
Sometimes smoke season comes earlier.
About that pilot car, like, is it a pilot car or is it just plowing? Like, you don't know what to think of the pilot car.
pilot car is probably only used for where it needs to be used.
Yeah.
So legally on the Coquihalla they don't need it, but as soon as they turn off the Coquihalla they're going to need it. So the pilot car will just follow and turn their lights on when needed. Hard climb. Hard climb, but at least we're not in a super B. Went down to 40 kilometers per hour there. In the super B, we would have gone down to 25 kilometers. And we've got American weight. I've got 5,300 on the steers, kilogram. I've got about 14,000 on the drives, and then 24,000 on the trailer. And yeah, I would like a lot more weight on the drives, but because it's a US load with my quad axle, in the US I can drop that axle in the rear, and that transfers a lot of weight to the drives. So in the US the drives have equal weight to the trailer as far as per axle. Nice balance weight in the US. But as soon as we cross Canada, that drop axle or the steer axle is illegal to use in Canada. So I gotta lift that up. But because we're allowed to carry a lot more weight in Canada, we're still legal weight. But there's a lot less weight on the drives. Which, like I was saying earlier, not a big deal in the summer. In the winter, I'd be spinning out all over the place. Chaining up way earlier because there's no traction. All my weight's on the back instead of on my drives where we need it for traction in the winter. I've only got a 500 horse Cummins in here. Most British Columbia trucks are running a lot more horsepower. Most of our company trucks are 570, 565, 75 horsepower. So most of our company has more horsepower than mine. So mine's the baby engine. That's okay. I love the truck though.
Yeah, it's been a really good trip too. There's only one really annoying thing about it. It's not really annoying, but annoying.
What's that?
Well, we talked about it earlier. I feel it right now. You can never get the temperature correct.
You never get the temperature right in this truck. It's always too hot or too cold. Every 5 minutes you're reaching over and clicking the dial one notch. One way or the other. Do you keep the third lane here or does that merge in? Can't remember. Yeah, merges in, okay. Approaching the smasher here pretty soon. Got another chain up loads to go before we get to the smasher, but we're getting there. gone all the way back up to 120 on some sections. I mean, it does make a difference to me, but I guess it does make a difference. The closing rate of the cars behind me will be much faster.
Yeah, be quick. It's kind of thick, but not as bad as yesterday where you feel like you're in it.
Yeah, not you can't. It doesn't smell like you've got your head in the campfire. Just you can barely smell the smell of smoke. Definitely better than yesterday. To be clear, we were out of smoke most of the day yesterday. After the video, we were clear. Eureka, we got a little bit of smoke come back in, and then it went away again by Salem. Eugene.
Yeah.
By Eureka. Eugene, from Eugene to Salem, there was a little bit of smoke, but then it kind of cleared up. Overnight, we were smoke free.
Yeah.
And we didn't get smoke again until we got to the Canadian border. Setting up a wide load. Splitting his trailer right now. Pulling forward. Gonna load some kind of heavy equipment on it.
Something's coming down the mountain probably for it.
Box Canyon chain up area, and then we climb the last little bit. Box Canyon chain up. Nice big parking area. illegal night racing area, I don't know. If you wanted to do illegal night racing, you can make that into a racetrack so easy.
Is it such a hassle to get up here sometimes?
It's far away.
Yeah.
Far away from the big city centers where the illegal racing happens. I would know nothing about the illegal racing at all. Okay, so maybe I know someone that does it.
Uh-huh. Well, that's where we should stop.
I mean, the guy's a really skilled driver, but he's gonna kill himself. Snow shed. I haven't seen an avalanche over that thing a couple of years now.
I haven't really been with you to know.
It's been a while. It's been long enough. Look, there's trees growing on top of it. If there's an avalanche in the winter, it knocks all those trees and brush down with it. How long can they allow those trees to grow on top of it before they have to get rid of them? Or else it will, roots will damage the roof of the tunnel. Sure is a beautiful time of day to come up here. Down to 38 kilometers per hour. This is about the steepest section right as we exit the tunnel. Down to 35 kilometers. This is where cars all over start overheating and you're going to start seeing RVs pulled on the shoulder. Turn in the morning to see a lot of pulled over vehicles, but this is where you always see everybody pulled over. If your car has any mechanical issues, this is where you'll find out. If you know ahead of time, just don't come up here until you fix those mechanical issues. You're not going to make it. Down to 33 kilometers an hour. Because the speed limit's 120, you could have a car just flying past us, especially since people speed and do 150 or even faster. Cops have pulled over people doing over 200 kilometers on here. Of course, the people that are doing 200 kilometers per hour only get caught because they're running a really unique sports car. Because the cop's not going to catch you. They're going to set up a barricade down the road and catch you there and go, hey, yeah, you are that car. You did that with a regular sedan that fits in with all the rest of the cars. A Ford Focus or Ford Taurus. You never get caught because you'd fit right in. It's a huge, just a big chunk of solid rock.
Yep.
Solid chunk of granite. Another big crane up there. Passed two of them. Oh wait, we stopped for fuel, so that's going to be the same one we passed.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it from the road, and at least one of them is.
Same company in the two cranes, so here we go. This is the summit. Not quite to the summit, but we're done with the hard climbing. Now a crane's pulling over. Oh, there's not the other one's parked down there already, so two cranes down there.
We're just regrouping, probably.
place to break down.
Yeah, so close.
If you had made it a year, it would have been better. You know? Here's the summit. 4,081 feet. Okay, so this is definitely like twice the height of what we were doing yesterday.
Yep. Do you remember that number too? I was like,
Yeah.
I want to see.
Twice the height of the passes we were doing yesterday. So I was wrong yesterday. Still, the U.S.'s pass is much higher than this.
Oh yeah, especially by Denver. We're taking them in our personal too.
Yeah, they're fun. For your black bears and your moose.
Aren't you now?
I was looking at you were looking down at that pond, admiring it. Like, bet you're looking for your moose.
I haven't seen wildlife this week.
No wildlife at all this week so far, other than deer.
I don't know.
They don't count.
Yeah, we have such an abundance of deer. I know a lot of people don't, but for us, like, we don't even think of deer as wildlife.
No, because there's deer just everywhere. They're like rodents.
Yeah, exactly. Like for some people, I know like it's special to see a deer.
Yeah.
But for us, it's like, no, they're everywhere.
Dry Gulch. Little rest area here is where the toll booth used to be. They had a toll booth on this highway. Always had to pay to come through here until they paid the highway off. Food truck open at Britton Creek, which is the next rest area just down the road. This rest area was an afterthought when they tore the toll booths down. They're like, we got all this space, we should put in a rest area.
I do find it interesting though, because most of the time, like I don't think the food truck is government owned or whatever, right? So like advertising food trucks is kind of weird. Like there's two of them on this highway and they get advertised.
A government sign advertises for a food truck.
Yeah. It's just like...
I'm told the food is actually really good.
Yeah. The freight check going that way has a food truck as well, so like
yep.
Two of them. I always find it interesting, like they advertise for a food truck. And I don't think many other places would get that.
That would be this next exit over here.
It's a nice rest
It's
area.
a really nice rest area. Always lots of room. Quiet, peaceful. That's a nice rest area.
the smoke is thick again. Like, I thought we were good, and oops, there's smoke. It's really funny because that's the French word for castle.
Chateau?
Yeah. So,
Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
so I'm like, the RV thinks it's a castle.
it is. It's my castle. It's a good name for an RV.
Kind of.
If you're building RVs, chateau's a good name for it. It's like we're building mobile castles for people to live in.
Yeah.
Oh, they're tearing up or have torn up the road and crossing the ditch here, the median.
Mm-hmm. It's better to do that than confuse people.
Last time we came here, we had one lane here, another lane on the other side going northbound, so the 2 lanes split up. It's changed. And this is part of the repairing from the flooding, which they're almost done. Next time we come through here, it'll probably be clear of construction. They had to rebuild these bridges. Well, looking at that, it's just sledgehammering, so they probably have a lot more work to be done on that bridge. Not sledgehammering, jackhammering. It's not looking too promising getting out of the smoke. It's not very thick, but it's still smoky.
Yep. That's how our day will be. There's pipeline work all the way along the Coquihalla. Well, honestly, there's pipeline work all the way from Vancouver to Edmonton. Basically.
I'm not sure where the pipeline actually starts on,
Me
but
either.
I know it heads towards Edmonton.
Well, that was actually pretty low.
That's Clearwater River.
It's like
Yeah, it's
dried
really
up.
low.
Barely a creek in some areas.
Yeah, there's two rivers on the Coquihalla. Coquihalla River flows from the summit down to Hope, and this side from the summit is Clearwater River, and it flows down to Merritt. I know this because you guys asked about it, so I had to research and find out. That's where I get all my info. When you guys ask questions I don't have answers to. Makes me look like I know what I'm talking about.
Getting smarter every day.
Getting smarter every day. I think that's a huge problem with the internet. Everybody always thinks you have to be special to know all this stuff. It's like, every person in the world can look this up on Google. Like, with the internet, we can find answers. Having said that, Google might not give you the best, might not always have the right answer.
I have decided if everybody we should put open Google and type in things.
Yep. How you would get a lot of those questions?
Well, I don't mind the questions. Not saying that for YouTube videos, but in general, everybody, every day around me asks me, I'm like, all I do is open Google.
How do I do this and this with this program? I don't know, but I'll Google it for you. Is
Yeah.
that pretty much your...
Yeah. How do I teach you how to open Google?
I do the same thing to you, but only because I'm driving and I'm on the phone. I'm like, I can't look this up. Can
Yeah.
you look it up while you're sitting at home? You should charge for that info.
I wish.
Just say, I will Google stuff for you.
So I just decided I know how to Google things.
$40 an hour. Go Google whatever you want me to Google.
With fine print that says, no promises that I will understand what I tell you.
Still slamming in the piers there. There's more and more of those piers showing up. Almost looks like they're going to build a bridge in the center. Instead of replacing the old bridge, they're going to build a new one here.
Bring it closer and just move the road around like that.
And just nudge the road over.
Yeah. Too bad we weren't going through Golden to see how the construction was there.
Yeah, you never know what we're going to get after Smoky. So don't count that out yet, but most likely you're right. Cross this next bridge here that's getting replaced, and then we'll call it a day. So thank you guys for supporting us. Really appreciate all the super thanks we've gotten, and the members, and then all the subscribers and thumbs ups, and especially all the commenters. It's been pretty cool. Really appreciate you guys watching these videos. And if 5 videos a week is too much for you, go to my Reddit and I'll post a video once a week of whatever my favorite video was that week. And if 5 videos is not enough for you, hit that join button and you'll get 6 videos a week.
And that's a bargain.
Looks like... Are they taking the old one apart? I think they're... Here they're... Yeah, they're taking the old bridge apart. So in this case, they're going to take the old bridge apart before building a new one. Yeah. And of course, this side needs to be replaced too. This side is much shorter than it used to be. They just filled it all in with dirt, so... It'll be years and years and years before that flooding damage gets repaired. Alright, RV, hammer down. I know you're faster than me, so I don't want to pass you. Alright. And maybe we'll let these nice people pass us all, and then we'll give a good honk, and then we're out of here. Alright, you guys rock!
Adios.